nightmarish world infested with lies and deceptions. In that other world, the forgotten ones awaits, and by the will of fate, some had fought against the dark ones. Them, thus falling into despair, into oblivion. These are their stories. These are their legends. These are the Paranormal Chronicles.
Many are the souls that face the breath of the underworld, but only a few have seen the truth behind that breath, the origins. In a time before ours, the world was not so different. Crisis and social chaos. People disappearing, voices being silenced, and lies blurring the truth. The papers and the media collapsed. This is the story of a young journalist whose life is falling apart. Brian Science. A promising breather of a well-known paper, now without a goal. Not only fired from his job, but also fired from his very own house. For some reason, his lovely wife decided to kick him out. Not only taking away his house and all the things inside, but also his daughter, Alma. About that reason, I bet it had something to do with the discovery of a fat wallet. Yeah, I bet. But Brian's inferno was just about to begin. To lose his job, house and family, that would be the prelude. Another monochromatic night, another soul wandering the streets. He sought a shelter, a place he could afford with his last savings. In time he would find that place. The place he sought. An old pension in the depths of a dark passage. In front of that hotel, the sign suggesting an empty room. By the look of the place, it seemed like an old house. It seemed that to pay for one night will be quite affordable for him. After knocking on that decayed door, the woman that appeared to own the place greeted his new customer. Eventually, he will get the room he needed. His new shelter, a dark room at one side of a desolated inner yard. With a wet and dirty bed inside and a broken clock right above it. Brian left his bags in a corner near that bed and his old typewriter over that small desk right in front of his bed. It didn't matter. His misery would come to an end soon enough. He rested for a while, spinning on that disgusting bed, with his eyes shut, standing from time to time, escaping the claws of Morpheus, till he sat at the edge of that bed, only to take out his small razor Without a job and without a family, his life lost all its worth. But no lonely soul would find peace inside those quarters. Deep in the night, strange sounds started to appear from the depths of what appeared to be the backyard, right at his side. Maybe one of the residents having an accident. The young man took his razor away with great deception and waited for several moments. Seeing that the cries would not cease, he finally stopped and faced the door of his home. He opened the door slowly. He walked the 5 steps that separated him from the backyard's door. Taking his hand into the doorknob, now spinning it slowly, the door opening before his eyes. But beyond the door, there was no backyard. Only countless streets and old houses. He couldn't believe his eyes. He walked slowly, entering the endless streets. His steps resonated through the deserted city, stepping now into the pavement of an era long past. With a gray sky and deserted streets, he continued till eventually seeing the most disgusting images. Countless caskets stacked, one over the other, all over the place. Armies of dead bodies as well, covered with dark fluids. That place was not meant to be seen. After realizing this, Ryan returned to the place in which there should be a door. But the door was nowhere to be found, only more empty streets. Trapped in an era long past. Even as fear invaded his heart, his best bet was to travel deeper into that great city with the hope to find a way out, a way to awake. Those streets only seen on history books, with countless corpses around every corner, with walls made out of coffins, blocking the roads. Finally, now in front of him, the rising architecture, the Chacarita necropolis.
You gotta be kidding me.
At his feet, he saw an old paper, but the surprise would be its date. April 15, 1871.
How is this even possible? This date.
This place. This is Buenos Aires.
100 years ago.
But all information comes always with a price. Furious screamings, the damned and their hatred, the origins of hell, ground zero. The corpse gained new life, being consumed now by those dark fluids. Their lost sight and breath and their movements, their flesh getting darker, thanks to those fluids, till they transform into something new, perfect shadows. To terminate the beholder, their task, running at speeds that goes beyond the capacities of human muscles, impulsed by their need, the need to take life away from the living. The escape route would be only one, the necropolis. After all, every single street was blocked with stacks of coffins. Only the path that leads into the city of the dead was open. Such a relief. He ran through the primitive streets of that graveyard, with the shadows still chasing him, right from behind, exposing their dark vomits to their mouths as they run, screaming blasphemies and curses. Quite an image. The vertigo, giving new strength to the beholder of wisdom, making him run even faster, showing him the way back. Right in front of him, in the distance, a door opening. With his last drops of strength, he jumped through the gates of time. The door now shutting itself. The inside, that room once again. But even as he returned to the safety of his journey, at the other side of the door, the living shadows prevailed, and with the never-ending desire of destroying him, they started to tear that door down. For how long would that gate resist? As seconds were gone, they continued crushing that door, one piece at a time. At the same time, the clock over his bed started to sing its terrible song, its loud mechanical noises, deafening the one that closed his eyes now and covered his ears. The need to wake up, to escape that nightmare, so great. Little by little, the loud noises started to disappear, till eventually the silence took over. Reopening his eyes, the man was laying over the old bed. Through the doorway, the light of dawn filtering, covering the room. A new day was born, announcing the end of what seemed to be nothing more than a bad dream. With great care he spun that doorknob, just to see the normal house on the other side of the door. The light of the sun over the inner yard, the stairs, another day in life. Brian covered his face with both hands while he laughed. For a moment in there, he truly believed that nightmare was real. It felt so real.